Question everything, for the truth should not be televised. And that's for sure. So with that, oh man, we in that month right now, that time. You know, we can share a little more information about history that they don't want us to talk about. You know, so definitely, you know, attach yourself to some of the actual sites that's actually showing up, you know, some of that information that they've been hiding and keeping hidden of true American history about our people, because it's highly important, you know, that way you can understand the trickery that's been used on all of us as citizens of America, on a lie of us being African Americans when they know we're not. And with that, you know, I see a lot of people, you know, that came here in the wrong fashion, you know, boo-hooing about their situation with borders are. And, you know, it would be sad, but we got a statement in the communities that if you do the crime, don't be afraid to do the time. You know what I mean? Because that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know, you're gonna do the wrong. Don't start falling apart when the punishment catch you. Because when you did the wrong, you know you was doing the wrong. That's just what it is. And for everybody that's out there, that's out there using their platforms to talk on the behalf of those that broke the law, shame on you. Because at the end of the day, breaking the law is breaking the law. As Aboriginal Negroes of America, we can't jaywalk without our lives being on the line, depending on which colonizer authority come through, and how his day going or her day going can be our last day. Let's just be real. So even on the smallest offense can be one of the most tragic things that can happen to us. Even on a wellness call, the most tragic thing can happen to us as Aboriginal Negroes of America living under this system. That's just what it is. So we don't get a pass. So no one else should look to us to help them get a pass for doing anything unlawfully or illegally. Because at the end of the day, we mass incarcerated more than anybody in the whole world. It's a human rights violation, but nobody else in any other nations are not talking about it. It's okay to see us demonized as the criminals of America, even though the records from the federal census of ethnic arrests don't even back it, stating that we don't even commit the most. Same thing with Asian 8. We're not the number one on the list to be beefing with any Asians, but they market us like we are. But they got these lists that you can pull up yourself and you can look at it yourself. But these are games that they're playing. So if you're gonna use your platform for anything, use it for justice, not for illegal wrongdoing. Illegal wrongdoing gotta deal with its reality for doing something illegal. That's just what it is. But we owe for crimes against humanity that has been done to our bloodline and still being maintained to this day. It's just what it is. And because of it, we owe justice by law in the form of reparations. That's what you should be using your platform for. Bringing the truth out about what's been going on with us economically in this system of oppression that been systematically sabotaging our ability to be able to build wealth in this country. That's just what it is. We got the receipts. They're all there, all throughout every state, all throughout the country. All we need to do is just highlight them and push them. We're dealing with a system that knows what they've done to us and still don't want to give us justice. So we don't got time as a people to cry boo-hoo-hoo for other nations in their plight, because nobody's crying boo-hoo-hoo for our plight. Everybody else, we done put boots on the ground, 10 toes down, boycotted and marched and did all sorts of stuff to help their plight out against colonizer supremacy. But in turn, once they get straight, once they get their foundation, they don't want nothing to do with us. They don't want to help us from nowhere. Openly watching us be oppressed in many different ways. And they know this. It's just a reality. All of them do. You know it right now as you speak, as I speak. It's just what it is. So we can't keep playing games. If it ain't our nation, it ain't our problem. Too many times we don't put other nations in front of our own issues to help other nations out. And in turn, none of them come out to help us out. That's just the reality. They all see our communities. They all see our abandoned buildings and abandoned stores and us not being able to own land nor housing all throughout our whole community. Thus, the community up for grabs to anybody that the system want to benefit with an economic flaw. Everybody but us. So why should we go out and act like we want to speak out on other nations' behalf when nobody's speaking out on our behalf and haven't for years? It's just a reality. We got to start dealing with what we got at home, in-house work, dealing with our own people, correcting what's going on with our own people. Stop chasing and chucking and jiving and cooning brothers and sisters that are selling our people right down the river, and start correcting all that. Because it's causing us to have major issues, especially with the devastating culture of gangster rap music. Something that our people don't even control. That's coming from the colonizers themselves, who manipulate that music and then hit the airways, pumping it all throughout the communities on ratchet behavior, degenerate behavior, illegal behavior, and then capitalizing off of it when our youth idolize the folks that's actually putting out this music in our image, and then they capitalize on it, lock them all up, and got burial grounds all over the place. It makes no sense that we filling up. So no, we had an all-time crisis to save our own selves from a system that hides in the shadows behind us, manipulating us 100% as if there's not doing nothing. Smokes and mirrors as the boogeyman continues to play the game of pulling the strings of our nation through manipulation and leading us astray to destruction and self-destruction of our own nation. It's time for us to change that and hold them accountable for what they've been doing. They know what they've been doing. We know what they've been doing. The key is to hold them accountable to it. Justice is justice. We don't want no handout. We want what's owed. We want what's owed legally. And we owe trillions of dollars legally. They sitting on their hands and not trying to give it to us, knowing that they owe it to us by law. Their laws, that they're willing to lock you and your children and your family up to the fullest if you slide the wrong way on any of their laws, any infraction of their codes and regulations. They'll be coming to hit you with the book. So it's time for us to hold them accountable to their own books, to what they have done and continue to do. We're not in ghettos and slums and hoods based off our own merit, based off our own movement. We're there because we've been put there, sabotaged, bamboozled, swindled out of our reality to keep us in the position that we in. And we got all too many real speakers that's speaking on this behalf. So it's time for us to start doing the same. We got no time to be holding our platforms up for those that ain't got that turned their nose up at us the moment they got to the country, the moment they got to our communities, the moment they got their just due off the benefits that we put boots on ground, 10 toes down to get swirling in this country. Just think about it. If Negroes, Aboriginal Negroes, ain't going no movements in United States, will United States be the way it is today? If we didn't put boots on ground, 10 toes down, and get out and protest and push back against colonizer supremacy, do you think America would be like this? Or it would be the same place where you can get open lynches and so on? Towns you can't go into, still to this day, called sundown towns, where they openly just do what they want to you and everybody turn a blind eyes. Just imagine if we didn't try and push back the way we've been pushing back for years, what it would be like for everybody right now. Exactly. wouldn't be a pretty place. It'd be bona fide, soaked and drenched in red and racism. All the way around, openly, outward, every day in your face. Today they hide it because they know we willing to push back. So they hide it. They play by the pen. Because we know the pen is mightier than the sword. Because you can manipulate water. You can manipulate resources. You can manipulate the food and everything else in the economics of the country away from a certain demographic and group of people if you just move that pen the right way. It's just what it is. So we can't play games. We got to do what we need to do. And with that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. But that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.